You come from Ukraine 3 years ago. A bank's going to turn you down for every loan. You can get 2 houses on creative finance, one in Tampa, one here, and you can make this all work. Anybody can do this. Here I am in Minneapolis, Minnesota, after a 7-day crazy trip. Jamil and I have been traveling around the country for about 5 years, just meeting with our community. Even 2 years before I created SubTo, Gator, Top Tier TC, Jamil created Astro. We were traveling around the country, just meeting with people and going on appointments with people, taking them to their seller appointments, talking to their sellers, going to their appointments, helping them underwrite their deals, going to their offices, calling their sellers. We used to do that for years. And then we decided, let's create a collective community where we can bring in people that are like-minded and make sure that people are a good culture fit. And then we started doubling down on our traveling. And today I found myself in Minneapolis, Minnesota, one of the many places I've never been in my life in the country. And what brought me here is Darina Alexa, one of our SubTo community members. Super smart. She is an immigrant, and that is actually what I want to highlight today. I want to highlight to you guys that anybody can do this. We're going to go over to her property here in a little bit, and although I'm tired, I haven't gotten any sleep in the last 48 hours. I'm really excited to get over there. Today, it's the last stop on this trip, and I'm going to hang out with Darina. She put together a meetup at an actual SubTo house, and we're going to hear the story of this deal and walk around the property. And I don't know anything about it. I just know that she sent me a really long voice memo this morning just thanking me and saying how she was an immigrant to this country and she otherwise would not be able to buy properties if it wasn't for creative finance. And so we're going to walk through the tour of her house today and hopefully give you guys some value and somebody to reach out to. If you guys are in Minneapolis, you can reach out to our SubTo community. So let's see what Darina's property is all about. What's your name?
Darina, hi.
Darina, where are you from?
From Ukraine.
When did you come from Ukraine?
3 years ago.
You came 3 years ago. How?
I've got my husband here and I came as fiance.
Amazing. Okay. Why did you choose Minnesota?
Because his family lives here.
Really? Is there a lot of people from Ukraine here in Minnesota?
Yeah, and people coming because there's a war. So people come in like every day.
Where are we right now? What's this house?
Oh, so we in Lane, like Minnesota, and we bought it SubTo.
You bought this property subject to?
Yes.
And why is that important for you?
So we bought it from another student. They found it was in pre-foreclosure, and we cannot qualify for a house. And I came 3 years ago. I don't have like anything to qualify. And yeah, and
so if you went to a bank right now and you said, I want to get a loan, me and my husband want to get a loan, the bank would turn you down?
Yes.
Plus the bank would probably give you like 8% interest, something like that?
Yeah, and we wouldn't buy it through the bank.
Right.
Like there's no way.
Right. So you got this property from a SubTo student and they saved a seller from foreclosure?
Yes. So they got paid, seller will get paid like monthly payment.
Wow.
And it was just 1 day. We signed 1 day before the auction. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and I have a good like relationship with sellers, so he's super happy about everything.
Who's the SubTo student that got the deal?
Jeremy.
Okay, Jeremy. So how did Jeremy get a hold of the seller?
So they just were talking on the phone.
Okay, so they were just cold calling, texting, going
Yes.
back and forth. And then the seller probably was trying to get the deal done and saved by themselves because the seller was waiting for a long, like all the way to the last minute, right?
Yeah, and also he was getting like so many texts and messages and postcards. I still receiving like postcards.
Oh, really?
other
From the
people.
foreclosure?
Yeah, from everyone.
Okay, so you got the contract the day before the foreclosure.
Yeah, we signed. It was like we got in a contract maybe 2 weeks before the auction, but then it was like not easy deal, and we were going back and forth. And just maybe 2-3 days before the closing, we discovered that there is like 13,000 on the liens.
So that was a couple days before closing, so you had to figure that out.
Yeah, and it took some time again. So we closed just 1 day before the like auction.
Amazing. Okay, so the student got, how much did Jeremy get paid?
He's supposed to get like 15,000, but he got 7,500 because it's like
Because of the liens.
yes.
Okay, so he got 7,500, which is awesome. And the seller was in foreclosure, which means you took over their existing payment subject to. What's the interest rate?
3.7.
3.7. That's really good. Are you happy about it?
I mean, it's amazing. And now that house can serve, like, we had like 9 refugees coming from Belarus. It's like 2 families, kids were praying, everyone was praying. like to find a house to live in, and they cannot qualify for any house, even apartment, unless it's like creepy city, to live with kids, because they don't have credit histories, they don't have anything yet,
Right.
and they don't have even money. So basically we will update this house. They come in tomorrow at 2 p.m. to
Wow.
US. They now fly in and they will live in our house before we get this finished. So they will.
You're gonna have 9 people living in your
so
house?
5 will be in my house, and Alex's brother take another 4.
Wow. Are these refugees coming from Ukraine?
They coming from Belarus. It's on a border with Ukraine.
And why are they coming here? What's going on?
Because they're trying to not be taken to the war. They don't want to like lose their life there because it's nonsense. So they come in here, and
Are they coming here obviously to work?
yes, they will be working, but they need a place to live, and without having like credit history, no one will rent anything
Right.
unless they'll like pay the full amount, which is not happening because they don't have money.
Do you know what your payment for this property is?
Yeah, so it's 1,200 to the bank and 168 to the previous owner,
Okay.
but it's like 30,000 at 0 interest.
Wow. Okay.
And another house we have in Tampa, we have like 100 at 0 interest from sellers.
Oh, wow.
So students really like negotiating the best deals because like seriously, it's like free money. Who cares what payment you make if it's like 0 interest?
It's 0 interest. So you're paying this seller $160 basically every month, and
for
it's
another 15 years.
at 0% interest.
Yes, and he texted me next day after the closing, and he like, hey, can you just fix this house, sell it, and give me my money? I'm like, that now how we like agreed. I will do my best to pay him more than
Yeah.
I need.
I just had a deal in Florida, and I have a seller finance note for $90,000, and the seller says, hey, I really need my money. This is maybe like 3 months after I closed the house. And I said, hey, I can get you your money, but it's going to have to be less than the 90,000.
Right.
How much will you take? And the seller said, give me 15,000 and I'll get rid of my $90,000 debt. So who knows? Maybe there's a situation where you give the seller
Right.
some money later down the road. So you're going to rent this to the refugees.
Yes.
And because you know their situation, you're giving them the ability to move in the house.
Yes. And that's just amazing. I wish someone would give me a house to rent, when I
Right.
came without anything. But we had to pay like all like our months, like 6 months of the rent when we came.
Oh, because you had no history.
Yes, and also my husband was self-employed, so they like, you can leave, but you have to pay,
Yeah, you have to give us 6 months in advance because we don't trust you
Yes.
because you have no history.
Yeah.
So you're helping these people out. There's going to be 9 people in this house.
Yeah, it's 2 families. One family has 2 kids, and another has 3 kids. And like there is school next, like to this house, like
Right.
like maybe 3 minutes away. And like
Yeah, I saw
playground.
that when I when
it's
I came in
like
here.
so cool. Like it's just a dream for them.
Well, show me the house. Let's look at it. So it's a split level, right? So there's an upstairs and a downstairs.
So it was like heavily smokers lived here. We just
Okay.
painted it. We have so many kids. We
Oh wow, this is pretty big.
we will
Oh my gosh,
one
what?
room.
This is awesome.
So kids will be living here, and we got.
Did you guys put new windows?
No, it was already.
Oh wow, you got lucky.
Yeah.
Those are good windows.
And there's another room. So one will be for the boys.
Wow, this has got a lot of space. Okay, so you've got 2 bedrooms down here on this
Also, we
side.
added one here. So,
Is this the only bathroom down here?
yes.
Okay, so the family with 3 kids probably is going to stay down here?
They probably will split by kids in the lower and they will be in the upper, we'll see. Because it's like older kids, like 10
Okay.
years old and plus. So it's like small. We bought a washer, we'll buy a dryer as well.
Wow, look at this is the coolest thing ever.
And here will be another
I
room.
love that when you came to America, you had to pay 6 months ahead in advance.
Yes.
And then you find out creative finance, somebody in the community sells you a deal. Obviously, you're running the meetups here. People know who you are. You're a leader.
Yeah, Jeremy didn't know me. He like, I see you posting that you're from Minnesota. Would you buy this deal?
Amazing.
And I'm like, let me check it.
And you came over here and you said, wow, this is a perfect fit for like a refugee family.
Yeah, it is. And we were actually looking for a place for them to live.
Amazing. So you're going to give them some time to get some jobs so they can start paying rent, right?
Yes, and they will be living at my house for free as well, and we still already paying here, but yeah,
Wow.
we're just helping them. So.
Wow. I know. I mean, it's only 9 people. It's not like you're saving the whole country, but that's pretty spectacular.
But it's small steps.
Yes, it's
We're
so
just
good.
doing what we can.
Right. You're doing more than anybody else.
We got one girl from Ukraine, and she was like working as nanny for 1.5 years with us, and she lived with us. And when she left for the missionary school now in California, she like, you just changed my life. Thank you for bringing me here. And she would like almost cry because she's so happy to be in America, and she was living like next to the border with like war. So yeah.
Wow.
People blessed.
Spectacular. That's so cool.
And we added another room here.
Okay, so you got another room here.
We will be finishing.
This will probably be the mom and dad's room, right? Because it's a little bit.
They will choose. We don't really.
You're not picking it out for them.
Yeah.
What I like is it's like a whole house down here by itself, right? You have like a living room,
Yeah.
and then they'll just have to share the kitchen, basically, right?
Yes.
Okay. 3 beds downstairs, 1 bath, 2-car garage.
And it's huge. Like, lots of space.
This is perfect because it is a split level. So it's like 2 different families can live in here and not really be in each other's way.
There's the kitchen. We preparing for the meeting. Sorry.
This is great.
Yeah, and there is other rooms.
Okay, show me.
With jacuzzi, they would never have jacuzzi in their life.
Wow.
They come to here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We will clean it. It's just a little bit boring. Yeah, there's bigger room.
Wow, this is great.
Yeah, so it got enough space until they figure out what they do and how they earn money.
I mean, in where they're from Belarus, you
So
said?
yeah, they know how to do. They know how to do construction, so they will be good with like.
Are there big houses like this in Belarus?
No.
So this is like going to be like a mansion for
Yeah,
them.
no one had like almost no one had like 2 bathrooms even in a house, so it's like yeah, they would live in apartments and like small houses. And they have restrooms outside of the house if they have a house.
Is that how you grew up?
Yes, I grew up in a small village. I always joke with my husband when we go to Mexico. I'm like, I used to these vacations, you know?
Of course.
We never go to vacation.
Yeah.
And we like remodeling deck a little bit because it's unsafe.
Yeah. Did your husband do all this work?
With his relatives, yes.
Okay, amazing. What's up?
That's my nephew.
Hi, nephew. What's up, man?
Yeah, he's trying to get into real estate as well. So that's.
Look at this backyard. This is like.
I wish to have this backyard.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
My backyard's not this
I was
big.
telling my husband, like, if we finish it, I want to live here too.
Yeah, this is awesome.
You have better one.
I mean, I have not really. I mean, you've been to my house, I know, but like this, all this grass area with all these trees.
And for the kids.
This is amazing.
I know. It's just a blessing. I'm like, they were praying so hard that we got a deal.
How about the winter here? Is the winter here really bad?
Like some months, but yeah. I don't like Minnesota for this reason. That's why we bought SubTo house
In Tampa?
in Tampa from Samsung.
Yeah.
And I was like begging everyone, like students, to sell me a deal in Tampa, like, or Florida. So yeah.
And you got $100,000. How much is the total purchase of that deal?
It was like $399,000, but then now we have $250,000 at 2.8 interest.
And then another
And then
100,000 for
at
0%.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's like my husband was like, should we sell that house in Tampa?
No!
Because sometimes it's not producing really well. I'm like, that's a free house.
Yeah, it's a free house.
Why?
It's a free house. 2.8% with 0% seller finance at 100%. Unbelievable.
Yeah, at Samsung, like, yeah, he was negotiating with Cody about this deal.
Yeah.
So
Great job.
Thank you for changing people's lives.
Hey,
seriously.
you're doing a great job.
We
Don't
couldn't-
give me credit. Don't give me
No,
credit.
Like, unless we found you, we wouldn't buy anything, you know?
Well,
Maybe
you know,
a house.
maybe in the future you guys would figure it out, but not at 3%. Not at 2.8%.
Now, yeah, we bought it like maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
How fun is this? How close is your house?
It's like 20 minutes.
Oh, it's south?
Yeah, there to the airport.
Okay, closer to the airport. Okay, cool. This is so great. I love this. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you for making it happen.
Dude, look at your house, man.
Yeah.
Like, how cool is this?
Yeah.
Are you guys, who speaks better English, you or him?
I'm speaking, and he understands, speak a little bit.
Yeah.
So you only speak Russian to each other?
But yeah, but he does all the construction work, so I do
It looks
the
good, man.
paperwork, and when we do like flips, he does it all the time.
What are you gonna do in the house before they move in? The flooring?
So we will do flooring, we will clean everything, yeah, we will like paint the deck. So
Will you be able to make money?
a little bit, not for the first month because we want them to be able just to cover our expenses.
Right, you want to get them working and make some
then,
money.
Yeah, from the spring we will just be cash flowing.
What kind of job could a refugee come to America and get?
So usually it's construction and cleaning, maybe babysitting, you know,
Okay.
sitters,
Yeah.
but
There's a lot of construction jobs here, I bet, huh?
I mean, Alex found them like 3 different jobs already from the church people. Yeah, they can just choose it, you know, you can just choose.
Wow.
And some are ready to pay cash.
You
some,
guys are
like-
changing these families' lives.
I mean, seriously, I tell him, I wish someone would meet me like that, you know?
Well, you know, what's cool is that you get to be the person that changes people's lives. That's
Because you are.
Wow.
No, but seriously, you know, you teach everyone and you
Grace.
like showing the example, so we just following it by baby steps.
if a refugee, so if somebody from Ukraine, are you from Ukraine or from
Yes,
Russia?
I'm from Ukraine.
Okay, you come from Ukraine 3 years ago. A bank's going to turn you down for every
Yes.
loan.
Yeah.
You can get 2 houses on Creative Finance, one in Tampa, one here, and you can make this all work. Anybody can do this.
I mean, yeah, there's no, like, you have to take action as Pace teaches us.
Sometimes it takes a little while. You know, you got to learn things and build network and all that kind of
and
stuff.
I'm not like super consistent and I'm like slow, but I'm just networking. So basically I could find like 20 of these homes, but then I'm just talking to students and they brought me deals, right? I
Yeah.
didn't negotiate any of those 2 deals as we own. But
That's the best strategy. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
This is so, look, you guys are happy changing people's lives. This is so cool.
I mean, definitely.
Anything else you want to say about the house?
We like really blessed to have it. It's huge and it will look nice.
Do you know these family members coming?
Yes, it's like Alex know them.
Okay, it's his friends.
It's like far relatives.
How did that happen? So there were people reaching out to Alex saying, hey, I need help. I want to escape.
Basically, they have even a brother in Massachusetts that lives in Massachusetts, and they have another family members in other states. But like, no one wants to take like 9 people, you know.
Well, you guys had to put a lot of work in. You had to find the house. You had to stop a foreclosure. You had to put construction and time and energy and money into this to save somebody's life. Somebody in Massachusetts, no blame on them, but maybe they're just busy. They're just really busy.
It's really hard. Like, you know, to help someone from the beginning. I've got one nanny and I help her to go like from the 0 to what she has now. And it's like, it takes a lot of energy.
Right. Well, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Good job, Alex.
Thank you.
So her name is Darina. She has been here 3 years. When she came here originally, they could not get bank financing for obvious reasons, right? They came from Ukraine.
Country.
Came from a different country. Can you buy a SubTo deal without even a green card?
Yeah, so too.
Isn't that crazy? You do not need to have identity you don't have to have a social security number to buy a house subject to, which is pretty cool. So she didn't have credit built, she didn't have credentials. So for 3 years, she wasn't able to buy a property. She joins our community. She ends up buying this deal from a student named Jeremy who does foreclosure outreach. So the seller at this property was actually in foreclosure. They get the seller in contract 2 weeks before the foreclosure, but there were so many problems with the property in terms of the title, the liens, all that kind of stuff, that it takes them 2 weeks essentially to clean it all up. You guys helped out with this, right? Your title office helped out with this. And they stopped the foreclosure. They solved everything the day before the seller lost their house. So the structure of the deal is she got a 3.7% interest rate on the SubTo portion. And then the seller wanted 30% or $30,000 of their equity
he wanted 50. He wanted 50, but we told like, you know, we need to be lower. And Jeremy went back to the seller and they renegotiated by 20,000. So we got like, sorry.
So the seller has $30,000 of equity in this property above the debt that she ended up taking over. And that $30,000 is 0% seller finance. So you have a payment on that of like $160.
168.
Principal.
Principal
Yes,
only.
Yeah.
At first
It's
it
like
was
free
30.
money.
We had to renegotiate like 3 times.
Yeah.
EJ, who are you?
Acquisitions for this house on Jeremy's team.
Give it up. So you're telling me that you can do this with all these kids. Point down these kids real fast. So you were on acquisitions for this property.
Yes.
You can do things and be a mom.
Yes.
It's possible.
Not just a mom, we're having like 5 kids.
Those are all your kids?
All but one, and then pregnant due in February.
Oh my God. Amazing. And meanwhile, people are asking me, how do I get started? And you're cranking out babies and locking up deals. I love it. That's so cool. Okay, so what does anybody know what her exit strategy is? Her exit strategy, how she's making money on this, is obviously she is somebody who came from another country. Her and her husband have ties with people that are in the Ukraine war, and they're trying to help families avoid going into battle zones. And so there's a family of 4 and a family of 5 that are going to live on 2 different levels in this house and pay her rent. She's going to give them a free month of rent. Her husband has already found them jobs here. And so they're working construction and cleaning, and they'll be able to pay now Darina's underlying loan and her seller finance note, the 0%, and she'll cash flow, I don't know, probably $300-400 a month by helping somebody find a house that they also could not qualify for. When she moved here to this country, pretty cool, right? Yeah. Give it up for Darina. When she moved here with her husband 3 years ago, in order for them to get a rental, they had to give 6 months ahead of time, right? Or 6 months of payments ahead, because the landlord's like, I don't trust you. You'd have no history. So they made her come up with 6 months. The people that are refugees from the war right now don't have that much money, and so she's giving them a leg up and giving them a job and taking a property that she wished she had when she first landed, and now giving it to the family that's just coming in here, which is pretty epic. If I were you guys, I'd walk through the property. They added another bedroom. They did a couple things. They just got to put flooring and a couple things, and then the house is ready to go. She also owns a house in Tampa, Florida. She bought SubTo, 2.99% on 250,000 or 190,000 roughly.
So I bought it for 400,000, and now we have like 250 on a mortgage at 2.8 interest. And then 100,000 seller finance at 0%. It's like free money.
Yeah.
Because we have like Airbnb, and we also bought it from another student. So if even you cannot like close yourself, just go to other students and find a deal. Like, because it's now Airbnb and it's cash flowing, and we out of state, but another student helping us to manage it out of state. So you cannot like, I couldn't like do that without community. Because if for example, I was locking garage door from my phone and it just stopped locking, and my neighbor like told me like, your garage is open, and I have like all the furniture, everything. I'm like, what can I do? I cannot fly to Tampa. I called another student and he came like in 30 minutes to fix it, and that's people who I can trust.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they will be out of the community.
Yeah, it's really special what we've created, and for everybody, Brian, just want to say thank you, man.
Yeah.
You keeping her accountable and pushing on her. Actually, in my opinion, her story is really cool, but it doesn't happen without you pushing.
Yeah. Thank you, Brian.
Give it up for Brian. Let's here's what I would do, everybody, before you guys leave. There's a lot of people that probably wish they had a contractor, a private money lender, somebody to show them the ropes. Every one of those people that have those resources are here, right?
Judy, she's really helping here.
Like Judy's really awesome.
She's host.
She's awesome. Where'd AJ go? Okay, the lady with the Viking, all the Viking kids. Okay, you probably want to talk to her, right? She knows how to lock up deals. You've got people in here that probably, does anybody know a good contractor here? Okay. So there you go. You probably, when you get your first fix and flip or you get your first project, you're going to want to go, where do I find my contractor? You find your contractors here when you're meeting with everybody. Okay, so don't talk to me. I'd love to talk to you. Love to say hi. But the main thing you should do is, I'm leaving in an hour. And guess what? I won't be back here till June. So who cares about me? Make sure that you guys meet as many people as you possibly can and you leave here with phone numbers and resources that you guys can keep. And I'm gonna go grab some pizza because I've been eating in like 30 hours. And I'll hang out for another hour and a half. Thanks guys, appreciate it.
Yes, sir.